Her voice cracked the air like glass shattering in a silent room. "These twins aren't yours. They're Chris's. I'm going back to him where I belong." She didn't look at me when she said it. She stared at the floor, one hand on her swollen stomach, the other gripping the edge of the counter as if she needed something solid to keep her standing. I should have screamed, thrown something, demanded answers. Instead, I nodded, calm, measured, almost kind. "I see," I whispered. "Then I wish you luck." She flinched, expecting anger. None came. I stood, walked past her, and left the room with the same quiet stride I always had. From the outside, nothing seemed disturbed. No storm, no rupture, no collapse. But inside, everything was crumbling, slow, deliberate pieces falling into the dark. When I closed the door behind me, I already knew I would not stop her. I would not beg or chase or plead. I would do something much worse. That night, I made my first call. Her words replayed endlessly in my head, not because of the betrayal, they all betray eventually, but because of how she delivered it. So clean, so certain. Chris. The name alone lingered like rot. He was nothing extraordinary, an old flame, resurfaced in her life with a message, a smile, and promises that dripped with nostalgia. I had noticed the subtle changes, the phone tilted away from me, the late-night showers, the faint perfume that wasn't hers. But I told myself stories, that she was tired, that pregnancy made her restless, that I was paranoid. I wasn't paranoid. I was blind. The timing cut deepest. She waited until I was fully invested, doctor's appointments, nursery plans, listening to heartbeats that weren't mine. And then she stripped the illusion bare with surgical precision. These twins aren't yours. The betrayal was not just physical, it was existential. She had rewritten my role in her life without my consent, reduced me to a placeholder until her true choice returned. I didn't scream because rage was too easy, too noisy. No, I would use silence. I would use patience, and silence, I've learned, always cuts deeper. I started with her phone. She left it on the nightstand, unguarded, trusting my indifference. That was her mistake. I memorized numbers, dates, patterns. Screenshots slid quietly into my own device. Every "I miss you" to Chris became mine. Every ultrasound she sent him became evidence. But evidence alone wasn't enough. I needed truth, indisputable, undeniable. So I made another call, a clinic, discreet, expensive, worth it. They told me what I already knew. Prenatal DNA testing was possible. She would never consent, but she didn't need to. A simple test of her discarded water bottle, my cheek swab, and a quiet courier later, the process was set in motion. Outwardly, I was unchanged. I rubbed her back when she complained of pain. I fetched water when she asked. I played the role of doting husband so convincingly that she began to relax, almost relieved by my lack of reaction. She thought I had accepted it. But beneath my calm exterior, the test results crept closer. Every day I watched her messages to Chris become bolder. Plans, moves, fantasies of a life together once the twins were born. She believed she had already won, and I let her, because the longer she believed it, the harder the fall would break her. The envelope arrived on a gray morning. No ceremony, no warning, just a courier's knock and a plain folder in my hands. I opened it slowly, though my heart already knew. Not mine. Neither of them. I read the words again, then again. The stillness inside me hardened into something sharp, unyielding. That evening, I set the paper on the kitchen table. She walked in, still glowing from some secret text, and froze. "What's this?" I didn't answer. I just looked at her. A quiet, measured stare that gave nothing away. She picked it up, red, and the blood drained from her face. Her hand trembled, her lips parted, but no words came. "Did you know?" she finally whispered. "I know everything," I said. No shouting, no accusations, just a simple truth delivered like a blade pressed against her skin. She collapsed into the chair, eyes wide, chest heaving. For the first time, she looked afraid. The next morning, she was gone, bags packed, off to Chris, as promised. I didn't stop her. I didn't need to. Because I had made more calls. Calls to people Chris owed money to. Calls to employers who might be interested in his little online scams. Calls to acquaintances who whispered about his temper, his debts, his instability. It didn't take much, just a nudge, just illumination. By the end of the week, Chris's perfect image was rotting. His landlord threw him out. His employer fired him. His credit bled dry. And her? She stood beside him in the wreckage, carrying his unborn children, realizing she had traded security for ruin. 2 weeks later, the knock came. I opened the door to find her there. Hair disheveled, makeup streaked with tears, belly heavier, voice cracking. "Please," she sobbed, "I made a mistake. I didn't know. I let her cry. Let her reach for me. Let her crumble. And then I stepped aside. "Not my problem," I said, my tone flat, final. Her sobs filled the doorway as I closed the door. The lock clicked like a gunshot. The house was silent again. I walked through the rooms, past the half-painted nursery, past the crib we chose together. My hand brushed the wood once, briefly, before I turned away. There was no sadness now, no longing, just clarity. She had mistaken my silence for weakness, my calm for surrender. But silence is strategy. Calm is power. I didn't destroy her. I simply revealed the truth and let her destroy herself. That's the thing about betrayal. It is always self-inflicted. I poured myself a drink, sat in the quiet, and felt the weight lift. When the glass was empty, I whispered into the stillness. She was never mine to lose. And the silence answered back.